G'day guys, welcome back to the Life Outside podcast. My name's Cam Bostock and I am very excited to be back with weekly episodes for 2026. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of the year. We've just taken a couple of weeks break over Christmas and New Year's, but this year is just going to be incredible. Got some awesome guests lined up for the next few weeks and the coming months, and it's just going to be a big year for the podcast. I'm so happy that you are here with me today. Before I introduce this week's guest, can you guys do a couple of things for me? If you do enjoy the podcast and you've listened to one or more episodes, please leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. Follow the show, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. All of those things help us out a ton, and I'm really excited to hopefully reach more and more people in 2026 with the podcast. In this week's episode, I chat to Tilly Hikes. Tilly has recently returned from thru-hiking the Hexatrek. 3,000 kilometers, 130,000 meters of elevation gain, skirting the border of France and traversing the European Alps, Pyrenees Mountain range, and so much more. Tilly hiked alone for 137 days, and in our chat, she shares her entire experience, all the highs and lows, on one of the world's most difficult and spectacular long trails. Without further ado, let's get into it. We hope you enjoy. G'day, Tilly.
Hello.
How's it going, mate?
It's going great.
It's going great. We've had a few technical issues this morning recording this episode of the Life Outside podcast, but that's just all part of the fun. We are recording in person outside in your hometown of Mount Barker, Western Australia.
Indeed.
We've got the magpies, we've got the main road, we've got the wind, all the fun stuff, but we're getting it done. I'm excited to chat.
Excited too.
You've just come off the Hexatrek, which
Yes.
is a very long trail, which is also very far away from here where we're sitting in Mount Barker country, Western Australia. It's a long trail in France, in Europe. Tell us a bit about what the Hexatrek actually is.
Yeah, so the Hexatrek is a thru-hiking trail in Europe, kind of an amalgamation of a lot of other GR trails, which are existing trails in Europe. And it starts in the town of Wissembourg on the German-French border, kind of goes down through the Vosges, through the French Alps, through South France, and then lastly the Pyrenees, ending
Amazing.
on the Atlantic Ocean in a place called Hyundai.
Incredible. Yeah, it's a trail that's sort of increased in popularity over the last few years. It only was formed in 2021,
Yeah.
I believe. And I've heard of a few Aussies completing it, but you'd be up there with some of the first, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
What motivated you to fly across the world and hike this? You know, it's going to take months and months and months. You got to leave home. It's a pretty big thing. What was the driving factor to get over to France to hike the Hexatrek?
So I learned about thru-hiking about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I saw a girl post a video on the PCT and I was like, that's crazy. Someone literally can walk 4,000 kilometers in one go.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is actually crazy. I want to do it. So I put all the steps.
Why did you say I want to do it? Because most people would be like, I definitely don't want to do that. But you were like, that's for me. Like, I'm very interested in why that was your thought process.
I've always enjoyed the outdoors. I like a challenge. I was curious to see, what spending that much time outside and in nature would do for me personally as well.
Yeah.
And I love the hiking community. That is a huge reason about why I hike. And I just thought, wow, I could meet some incredible people and see some amazing places, spending 5 months outside. So
super cool.
Yeah.
So you saw that video, and what was next?
So next was, starting to do longer hikes. I only did my first overnight hike, about 6 years ago. And so then I wanted to start stepping it up a bit so I could progress to that. I started with week-long hikes, doing some harder things in the mountains as well. And then from there, an opportunity came up that I had some time free.
Yeah.
And then I started with the Hexatrek.
So why the Hexatrek? Because you were inspired by this PCT video. Which video was that? Because there's a lot of big, sort of well-known, I guess, PCT documentaries.
I think it was on TikTok at the time.
Oh, it was a TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember her name because it was 5 years ago.
Right.
It was like her first like really long distance hike as well. I think she had a very similar nature to me as well, so I found that quite inspiring. Yeah, that's how that all kind of started.
It's funny how just like a random TikTok video can like change the course of someone else's life. Like you watch that, you're like, oh, that's something that I'm interested in doing. And then a few years later, you've walked across France over a 5-month period. It's crazy.
Yeah. Content creation, incredible. Like just opens up opportunities that you might not have realized.
Yeah, it's powerful.
We're out there, so for sure.
Yeah. So the Hexatrek.
The Hexatrek. Why the Hexatrek?
Why the Hexatrek?
Well, for one, it's in France. And for me, I love hiking to see a place. I feel like you get really immersed in the culture and really understand a place when you're hiking and spending 4 months in the nature of the place as well. So that was a huge part for me, to travel a country and see it properly. I was very attracted to the food of France and and the language.
Love food, yeah.
And the language as well, to be somewhere where English wasn't spoken and have the opportunity to learn a language naturally. Not that I actually picked too much up to speak it, but comprehension.
Sure.
Manage some of that, but yes. And of course, the French Alps are world renowned, and so are the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of beautiful nature in France, and some of the, I guess, lesser known sections of the Hexatrek, I don't even know what's there, but watching your videos and some other people that walks the track, it's just so beautiful all the way through.
It truly was.
Yeah. And
so different as well.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't expect the landscape to change as much as it did, but it was stunning, like, the 42 degrees days in South France. But, walking in some of these gorges in the river was like so beautiful. I had no idea what I would see or that it would be as spectacular as it was.
Yeah, and that is, like you mentioned, that is the beauty of through hiking, is you get to experience a place in a way that you just never would otherwise. Like you could drive the French countryside or take a train and you'd see some stuff, but actually walking through these small towns and these natural environments and meeting the local people and experiencing their generosity and all of these little things you just cannot experience any other way.
No.
And that's why I love walking across countries. I've walked across a couple now, and it's just like it's the best way to see the country and experience the culture in a deeper way.
100%.
And just being in nature is pretty special anyway.
Yes, indeed. And I think some of the best places that you access can only be accessed by foot.
100%.
Like, and there's something, amazing about like untouched nature as well. Well, I guess it's a little bit touched, but.
Yeah. That is why I hike, is because you get to go to places that literally you couldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
You can't drive to these places. You can't ride your bike. You can't fly in or take a train. It's like you've got to walk because it's so remote and rugged.
Indeed.
And then you get to see places that people who aren't willing to walk out there will never see. And that's just the coolest thing ever.
It is.
And to do that for months and months on end, it's pretty special. What was your longest hike prior to the Hexatrek?
I don't know if you would call it a hike exactly. I had done the Camino de Santiago.
Okay.
2 years prior to that. So that was my introduction into long distance walking.
Which Camino?
The Francis Way.
The French Way, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I did that with the idea that I wanted to do a through hike. And I was like, you know what? I want to see what it feels like to walk a long distance and, walk across the country as well.
Great.
And that's really cemented to me that, you know what? I really want to do a through hike. This is 100% for me. So
the French Way of the Camino, it crosses over the Hexatrek, doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts in Saint-Jean, which I reached 4 days from the end.
That's crazy. So you walked through Saint-Jean,
Pied-de-Port,
on the Hexatrek as well?
I did, yes.
Wow, that would have been pretty cool.
It was so full circle.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
2 years prior, you started in that town. Yeah, that's pretty cool. How was the Camino experience for you? Because like you said, it's not really like a wilderness hike, but it's still a long way to walk. It's like 1,000 kilometers if you go all the way to the coast almost.
Yeah.
And it is more of a cultural, I guess, experience, which probably you're looking for that when you hike. And so that would have been pretty special.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time on the Camino. the abundance of people that you meet
Yeah.
who are there for different reasons, you know, the stories that you hear, incredible. Yeah, that just was such a highlight for me on the Camino.
Yeah.
The food as well. I enjoy Spanish food and the language and the culture, yeah. And all of that is a massive part to me enjoying the Camino and being like, okay, I want to explore more of Europe as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm usually one to enjoy the wilderness more so than the civilization and people. I usually avoid people. But the Caminos, I did the French way this year on the Camino, and it blew me away how much I loved it.
Yeah, okay.
Just experiencing the culture and the people and
Yeah.
talking to new people every day. Like, I actually loved it.
Yeah.
It really surprised me. And even thinking back now, I'm like, I don't know why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
When usually my default is to like just go off into the mountains by myself.
Yeah.
Whereas the Camino is the exact opposite. You're going into the cities with all the people kind of thing. But I think coming from like Australia, where we don't have a super long history as far as at least Western culture.
Yeah.
And going to a place like Spain where there's these 1,000-year-old churches and 1,500-year-old castle ruins and all of this deep-rooted history and spirituality, I think that's what kind of got me. I was seeing all of these places that have been around for so long and walking this path that so many have walked before me and is so significant for so many people.
Yeah.
It just felt really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's so interesting you say that because I'm quite similar. I'm quite introverted. I enjoy walking by myself as well. And similar thing on the Camino. I was quite surprised about all the people that I met and how much connection I had and how much I enjoyed that, especially not being in the wilderness. So yeah.
Did you start the Camino alone?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I was nervous for sure. You know, if that didn't last long, I think as soon as you start walking, you're like, wow, okay, this is familiar.
Yeah.
Feel comfortable again.
Well, the reality is of through hiking is it seems like overwhelming and complicated. It's not. It's so simple. You just literally walk.
Exactly. One step in front of the other.
Yeah. You know? And like, you know, on these larger scale hikes, it's like you just got to walk to the next town or whatever. It's like,
absolutely.
It is nerve-wracking before you do start, but once you get into the groove,
you just got to get out there and give it a go. And then once you find your rhythm pretty quickly.
You do. And so did you meet people that you walked with on the Camino, or did you do the whole thing alone?
I met people throughout. No one that I stuck with for too long. There were some people that I would walk, you know, meet at the same place 3-4 days. And then, not too many that I stuck with throughout the whole journey.
So you obviously there's people everywhere, but it was sort of a solo experience as far as like, you know, starting alone, finishing alone, that kind of thing. Yeah,
for sure. I also went during a more quieter time. I was there during October.
Yeah.
So there were less people around to be walking with.
Yeah.
As well.
And what was it like making it to Santiago de Compostela?
It was spectacular. A mix, I think, as well, of emotions.
Yeah.
You're really excited that you just achieved something so big for yourself, but then also really sad that it's over.
Yeah.
I did think about the end a lot more on the Camino than I did on the Hexatrek, which I found quite interesting.
Well, the Camino is like everyone's just walking to Santiago.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all you're thinking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas on a longer through hike, I guess it's more about the journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was very excited to walk the Hexatrek and just live day by day and enjoy it, be fully present. I hadn't ever experienced that like level of being in the present than I did on the Hexatrek.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about the end that much.
So obviously you started the Hexatrek alone as well.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Was that slightly daunting? This like 3,000 kilometer journey through mountains and a foreign country. Were you nervous then, or were you more like, let's do this?
I think I was more nervous to fly into Frankfurt, Germany than I was to just start the Hexatrek.
Right.
You know, when you're out in nature, as I said, it's somewhere where I'm comfortable, and walking is something I'm comfortable with. I was a little bit nervous, and I remember arriving at my campsite. It was like 6 p.m. at night, and I was all alone. And I was like, wow, okay. I'd actually anticipated that I would spend the next 5 months not meeting many people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how many people knew about the Hexatrek or were going to be walking it. And then 3 guys showed up and they were all speaking French. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm a bit nervous to like talk to them. I wonder if they speak English. And they were so nice. Their names were Charlie, Lionel, and Matthew. And Lionel was actually someone that I continued to walk with sections, and we actually finished the Hexatrek together.
I was going to say, he was in your last vlog.
Yeah. So
That's wild.
we met back up again after that. But turns out, everyone's so nice, and that was a really good opportunity to dampen the nerves a little bit that I did feel about the language barrier that might exist. And
yeah.
Yeah.
What was? Did you come into it with a plan of like, I'm going to document this journey? Because had you filmed your Camino or any other hikes you had done? No, this was a new thing for you.
100%.
For those who don't know, like Tilly daily vlogged the entire Hexatrek, all 150. How many days was it?
30.
137.
Yeah.
137 days, which was just incredible to follow along with, and so many people did, which would have been pretty surreal to you. Yeah, where did that come from?
So I did kind of come in with the idea that I wanted to record my journey for myself, to have a documentation, and for my friends and family at home.
Yeah.
And I started a new Instagram for it because
Okay.
I was like, like everyone might not want to, be watching my daily vlogs on my personal Instagram. So I'll just start a new account and then they can choose to follow it if they want.
Tilly hikes.
Tilly hikes. Very creative.
Makes sense.
And so I started this account and I left it on public because I looked at others' videos before I'd come out onto the Hexatrek. And I thought this could be a really good resource if other people want to do the same thing or are looking to plan a small section. And then, I started posting it, and then it got really big very quickly. And suddenly I was sharing my journey with people from all around the world, which was very cool.
Yeah. Was it like a bit overwhelming, or were you like, this is awesome that I get to share this with so many people?
Oh, honestly, I was a little bit overwhelmed. I woke up one day and then suddenly my follower count had blown up to 20,000 at the time. I was just in shock.
Yeah, because this is a fresh account as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I was in a bit of shock, but I did initially feel a little bit of pressure. But then I was like, you know what? Just going to share what my days are like.
Yeah.
And people could follow along.
Yeah, they were very, very cool to follow along with. I think no matter
Thank you.
what was going on in your day, you just somehow always had this huge smile.
Yeah.
And I think that's what drew a lot of people in. It's like,
just so grateful to be there.
Yeah. But even in the early mornings, we didn't get any sleep, or like things didn't go right. It was just like, just happy to be there.
Absolutely.
That's probably a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
And it was super cool.
In my element.
Yeah.
Sure.
What were those first few days on trail like? You met those 3 French dudes very early on.
I did.
Did you walk with them at all, or did you just kind of head off on your own little adventure?
We walked a little bit together, throughout the day. We kept bumping into each other as you do on a hike.
Yeah.
And then we I think by the 3rd day we'd walked the whole day together. Then some of us started getting sick. I got a little bit sick, not as much
In the first week?
In the first week,
Oh, no.
not good. So then we split up, and Matthew, one of the guys, was only doing the GR5, so he was only on trail for about a week.
Yeah.
And I said goodbye to him on day 4, but we still talk. It's crazy that you can meet people for such a short amount of time and still...
Meeting someone on trail is very bonding, especially if you walk together for a little while.
Absolutely.
You kind of just go through all the ups and downs together. And
100%.
Yeah. So you got sick. Did that stop you from walking at all in that first week?
No, it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
There was one time I did get sick. The most sick I got was in stage 2, which is when you enter the French Alps, which is the big elevation days. You're starting to do 2,000 meters of elevation gain a day,
Jeez.
2,000 descent over 20 kilometers. Like, it's steep gradients as well. But I plan to summit this pass called Cheval Blanc, which is near Mont Blanc, actually. And I was at the refuge the night before talking to the guy about the conditions, and I got dinner there for the first time ever. I'd gotten dinner at a refuge. I ate so much food. They kept feeding me because they heard about how far I was walking. They just kept feeding me food. And that night I got really, really sick. It was awful.
Like food poisoning?
Yeah. Food poisoning or water, I'm not entirely sure what it was. And I was actually devastated because I'd eaten all this food. Like all this good food. I was like, I'm going to have so much energy tomorrow.
Crap.
and then, it lasted all night. And I was like, you know what? I actually can't keep going. I have to go down. Like I can't walk anymore like this. So that was the sickest I got. And that put me out for about 5 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you just couldn't get food down?
No.
It's just traumatizing.
It was. I laugh about it now, but I was pretty proud of myself how I managed to get through that day because I had to descend.
So
down.
Descending from that refuge whilst this sickness had just hit you, that would have sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't great. That was
so you went down to a town or something? Yeah,
there was a town, and then I took a bus. I'd met not a French couple, an Australian couple. Their names were Lee and Trevor. Probably a week earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Lee was a doctor, and I was like messaging her. I was like, hey, what could it be? What should I do? And she's like, oh, we're in Chamonix. Just take the bus to Chamonix and, we have an apartment. Just come stay with us for a few days.
Wow.
So hospitable. So I went and I stayed with Lee and Trevor after taking the bus that day.
It's pretty cool finding other Aussies when you're out traveling because it's like you just have that connection and then you just want to help each other.
100%. Yeah.
So that was stage 2.
Yeah.
What are there's 6 stages, right?
Yeah.
So what are the 6 stages?
So the first stage, I did them in order. So I went and did a continuous path.
Okay. So some people don't do that?
No. And looking back now, maybe I would consider not doing the same.
Really?
Yeah. So the first section is the Vosges, which is lower mountains, kind of reaching 1,500, 1,700 on some parts of that.
Still taller than anything in Western Australia?
Absolutely. It's all forested though.
Okay.
Quite easy paths, gentle, And then you cross over Lac Le Mans or Lake Geneva, and you enter the French Alps, which is stage 2. So the Northern Alps are first. It crosses over Tour de Mont Blanc. It goes through near Chamonix, which is, you've obviously been to those places.
Yeah, this year it was awesome. Do you go through Chamonix or?
No, Les Houches?
Les Houches, yeah.
I'm terrible with my pronunciation. But you could just take the bus in. It's not very far to Chamonix. And then it goes through stage 3, which is the Southern Alps, which is where things start to get even crazier.
Okay.
Which is the Tour de Akron, which was, some really interesting hiking. I was starting to get a bit fatigued by that point.
Yeah.
And then you go through past Grenoble there, which is called the Beldon, which is you've got big boulders up some really high mountains there. And then you enter South France, which is like just an inferno.
So is it just exposed and hot? Is
Very
it like desertous at all?
Yeah, so quite hot, especially at that time of year that I passed through there. Lots of gorges though, stunning, like rivers everywhere. It's beautiful. And then from there you enter the Pyrenees.
And that's the final 2 stages, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no really distinct difference between the 2 stages of stage 5 and stage 6, I would say. Halfway is a small country of Andorra, which you hike through. Some stunning hiking through Andorra, actually. And then, you finish up in Hendaye at the end of stage 6, which is on the Atlantic Ocean.
So each stage is like roughly 500 kilometers?
Kind of 500 to 200 to 600.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
they're not even distance.
They're not even.
No.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very like different landscapes and very varied.
Yeah, incredibly diverse.
Yeah. Which all the best through hikes are.
Yeah.
It's cool to just see so many different environments.
Absolutely.
In each one.
People ask you, what's your favorite, the Pyrenees or the French Alps?
what is your...
No, you can't answer that.
You can't
I don't think
answer.
so.
Yeah.
Because they're just so different. Like, how could you compare?
Which is what you want. You want things to be so good in different ways that
Yeah.
you can't compare them, right?
Yeah.
So technically you walk through a couple of countries then, right? You
Yeah.
dip into Spain, Andorra. Do you go into Switzerland at all?
Yeah, so there's actually in stage 1 was the first alternative route. Because the Hexatrek is an amalgamation of several trails, there's lots of options to use existing trails to kind of divert your path a little bit
Sure.
or take a little shortcut. And there was alternative routes as well. Typically, you could choose the alternative route might have been harder than the other route. You know, it might go through lower passes compared to the other. But the first one was through Switzerland. I could choose to go through Switzerland or stay on the French side. So I did go into Switzerland, but we also crossed into Italy for a little bit.
Oh yeah, of course, on the TMB.
Yeah, Germany.
Wow, so like 7 countries or something.
And Spain, down the bottom. Never for too long, but
Yeah.
certainly. Because it traverses the border.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Was.
So stage 1, you got sick at the start.
Yes.
How was it overall? The Vosges.
The Vosges. The Vosges was lovely. Very culturally, significant.
Okay.
There was a lot of history being on the French-German border. There was one day we passed through the only concentration camp in French territory.
Really?
Forgotten the name of it. And I didn't go in, but that was a really significant part of stage 1 for me, history-wise. The Vosges was lovely though. Very wet. Very wet. I soon learned that I needed to replace my rain jacket.
Oh,
It was
okay.
it wasn't doing the job it needed to do. And a little bit chilly as well at that time because it was still in spring at that stage.
Yeah.
Very green, lots of huts around. Lots of really cool huts that are being taken care of by the locals. Yeah.
And you could just stay in them?
Yeah, for free. They would have them marked on the map. Because it's a mountainous area, the refuges are there just to keep you out of the weather in case of emergencies and such.
So how often would you camp compared to stay in a hut or a refuge along the entire track?
I typically still like to stay in my tent. My tent is like my little home.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy it. And, there's no
Classic
chance
introvert.
of any mice in your tent. You kind of have a little protective barrier.
Yes.
I've woken up with mice running on me before, and
It's not fun.
no, it's not something I enjoy. But, it was really nice to have that option, especially with so much rain and weather.
Mm-hmm.
Such a luxury. Wow. But most of the time I'd stay in my tent for sure. But probably every day to every second day we were near a hut or a refuge. They were pretty much spaced every 10 kilometres.
Yeah, it's very similar to like Aotearoa, New Zealand,
Okay.
especially the South Island. You could stay in a hut every single night if you wanted to. And most
Really?
of them are just kind of free reign. You just show up and you can stay in there, and they're super nice.
Okay.
And it is a very different experience to just wild camping every night.
Yeah.
Like I always think about that when I think about the PCT versus Aotearoa.
Mm-hmm.
Aotearoa is just like in a building like most nights.
Yeah.
And then on the PCT in the tent every single night. And it sounds like you get sort of a bit of both on the Hexatrek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's super cool. Did you, so besides those 3 guys that you saw early on in the Vosges on the first couple of days, did you see many other people on trail?
Yeah, quite a few people on trail.
Yeah.
I think I got lucky and I kind of left at the time where there was quite a few people also departing at that time. I walked with some people in stage 1. Their names are Gary, who was an English guy. He was in his 50s. And then Charles, who you might be familiar with, who I mentioned. And Anne. So Charles and Anne were both French. And Charles was from Paris and Anne's from Marseille. And yeah, so nice. So we walked kind of on and off together for stage 1. And then I kept meeting back up with Charles and Gary throughout stage 2 and 3 before they all left trail for different reasons as well.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, and then I walked with an Australian girl called Beck. We met through Instagram. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And that's how I met Hurricane, because they were walking together for through the Alps and through stage 4 together, and that's how we all met.
So Beck was vlogging as well.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I was following, I mean, I guess a lot of people were probably following you both.
Yeah.
And then you had this like kind of crossover.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
The crossover, yeah, through Instagram, entirely through Instagram.
Yeah.
I made so many connections online.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
posting your journey is really powerful for that reason.
100%.
Whenever I through hike and I'm posting videos about it, you get so many offers of assistance.
Oh, yeah.
And you get people reaching out that are on trail, and you get to meet new, like it's like a bit of a cheat code to through hike. You get like all these extra things, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Did you have people reach out and offer you their home, that kind of stuff?
I did.
Yeah?
I did. And I only ended up meeting up with one family just because logistically it was a bit tricky.
Mm-hmm.
And we met twice, actually. Once in stage 1 in St. Hippolyte, and they bought me a bunch of snacks.
Wow.
This man and his son. So lovely. They're Australian family, and he had married someone from the UK, I believe, and they were residing in France, Switzerland, somewhere on the border there. And so made the journey out to meet me and we just had snacks together and some tea. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And then later on we met back up because they were taking a trip down to the coast for the summer holidays. And then I got to meet his wife and all 3 children, and we ate lunch together. And I just couldn't believe that I was in the position that someone had reached out and was willing to take the time to meet up with me.
Yeah.
And just
That's pretty special.
to talk. Yeah. It was incredible.
Yeah. People are just awesome.
They really are.
No matter where I go, it's just like people are so generous.
And I think that's one reason why I love hiking is the humanity is, amazing.
You get to experience it
for sure.
fully. Yeah.
Some awesome people out there.
Was there much like trail magic along the route at all? I mean, there's probably not the numbers to warrant anyone coming out and sort of like giving out food or whatever.
No, there wasn't too much trail magic in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
Lots of really generous people out there though, who are willing, to keep their shops open later or talk with you or offer you a place to stay. There was one lady on an already established trail, which was the GR5, and she had set up her home for hikers.
Amazing.
And, she had beds in her garage and,
Wow.
you could make yourself a tea or a coffee or fill up with water. That was awesome. And hitchhiking as well. The people in the mountains are just so open to helping hikers out, which was, incredible to experience, for sure.
I think there's probably like a bit of a stereotype with French people, and maybe not the friendliest, but when I was in France, it was the opposite. Everyone was so nice.
Yeah.
Did you mostly experience that, or?
100%. Yeah.
It's just,
And I think I had grown up with the same stereotype.
yeah, I don't know where it came from.
I don't know either. And I had friends like mention that and ask me the same sort of question. How is it? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very hospitable. Everyone is so lovely and welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go back in a
That's
heartbeat.
awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So stages 2 and 3, the Alps.
Mm-hmm.
Were you hiking leagues sort of coming in at that point? You'd been doing some smaller mountains in the Vosges.
Yeah. It was a good
Fitness
build
is
up.
up. Yeah, it's probably probably kind of perfect how it's planned out like that.
Yeah.
And how was it coming into the Alps to the big mountains?
It was I cried my first day. I saw the mountains and I was like, what?
You cried with joy or
yeah,
fear?
I had a joy.
Okay.
I think I was a bit tired too because I went in like guns blazing on my first day. I was like, I'm going to walk 30 kilometers. I'm going to do 2,400 meters of like gain today.
Wow.
It was a bit too much, I must admit, looking back.
Yeah.
But I was just so excited. I wanted to like get up because you're coming from Lake Geneva, so quite low, and you're heading up into the mountains and where you'll kind of like stay up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just so excited to get up there. So I did this big day and I just remember I saw the mountains and I saw snow like capping the mountains.
So you hadn't seen snow prior to that?
I had, yes, because
Okay.
I had spent my, 18 months in Canada at this point.
So, I mean, sorry, like on the Hexatrek, had there been snow before that?
No.
No, okay.
No. So I saw the snow and I was like, wow, okay, we're really
Yeah, that's cool.
in the mountains now.
Yeah.
Like we're in the serious, like I can see Alpine.
Yeah.
How cool.
It's exciting, yeah.
So yeah, I was stoked.
And the Alps are obviously like this iconic place where
Yeah.
it's like just the global hub of adventure and, you know, epic views and beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so you've probably been anticipating that for a while.
Absolutely. I was just so excited to get
Uh-huh.
into into the mountainous territory. I think and the anticipation for those harder days as well.
Mm.
You know, my trail fitness was really kicking in at that point. And yeah, stage 2 was peaking in terms of my trail fitness for sure.
I'm assuming there's a lot of different ways you can kind of go through the Alps.
Yeah.
There's so many trails out there, obviously, a lot of really iconic ones.
Yes.
The Hexatrek has a route, I'm sure. Did you take any side trips or alternate routes, or did you kind of follow the Hexatrek?
I mostly followed the Hexatrek. There was opportunity to take some alternative routes. We got into the Alps slightly early, so there was still snow on some passes, and we did go over some quite high passes. I say high, quite, you know, there was still snow on them.
Yeah.
So to go even higher, there was quite a bit of snow, and I didn't have the equipment to do some of those ones, which, you know, would require an ice axe and micro spikes. So yeah, I mainly stuck to the Hexatrek route. But looking back, now that I know about organic maps, which was what I used a lot in the Pyrenees to kind of, I started really making my own paths in the Pyrenees. You know, I'd love to go back to the Alps and do something similar, you know, do my own route.
The Hexatrek does follow some pretty iconic trails, right? So you do the Tour de Mont Blanc,
Yeah.
GR54,
Yes.
and so it's pretty it's pretty easy to just follow the Hexatrek because you know you're going to be walking some pretty epic, iconic sort of locations.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's just full of incredible scenery everywhere and landmarks.
Yeah, what were some of the highlights, like some of the best views, best passes?
Oh, that's such a hard question. My first pass that I did was incredible. I can't even tell you the name of it. I'm really bad with the names of the places I went to. I remember the refuge's name. We started at Refuge de Folly and we went over this pass, and it was the first big pass. And it was like we were in this Martian landscape. It was just like rocks everywhere, and I love rocks.
Rocks are great.
Rocks are great. And so I was just, in awe. And then you kind of descend down and you see this alpine lake, you know, that aqua color. And you're in this cirque, which is just like a big gorge, you know, big rock walls surrounding you. And there's just waterfalls. It's called the end of the...
We just had one of our cameras fall over. It's a bit windy out here in Mount Barker.
Mount Barker.
But continue on. You're in the cirque.
It's called the end of the world.
Okay.
And the waterfalls are just falling off the sides of this big cirque. So it was actually stunning. Like, the most beautiful place. And then the end place was called Camping de Pelly. So, yeah, that I can't remember the name exactly of the place, but for sure that was up there with my highlights. The other place was Andorra, which is in smack bang in the middle of the Pyrenees, which is that tiny little country kind of squished between France and Spain. Andorra was, you know, I think it's called the Ariège region in the Pyrenees. Some really intense mountains. You know, that's when you're like, if you're doing the HRP, the High Route Pyrenees, that's like when you're getting your toughest terrain is there. But it's just like these lakes are everywhere. You know, you've got sharp, like peak rock. Oh.
What is the history of Andorra? Why is there this little country in the Pyrenees between Spain and France?
I wish I could tell you that. Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because I've been looking into the High Route in the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
It'd be a super fun adventure, but you get to go through Andorra, which would be super cool, as well as obviously in and out of France and Spain.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. That was one of your favorite places as well.
Yeah, it was beautiful there. It was some really tough hiking, and we were all very tired at that point. I think it was quite easy to get lost in that, but it was just so stunning. I can't even tell you. there is beauty in pain a little bit too, you know.
Of course. Especially in hindsight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
And part of the reason that we do these big adventures is because they're hard as well.
actually.
So you're overcoming this pain and the challenge, and that is super satisfying.
Yeah.
And if you're in an incredible environment, it just like sort of elevates the experience, right?
Yes.
It's like you climb a mountain and it's really tough, but because it was tough, the top is so much better.
So, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think that was a big part of, especially the mountainous regions for me.
Yeah.
And looking back, actually, South France, which was by far harder than any of the mountain ranges that I did. Yeah.
Just the heat.
The heat. I struggle in the heat though, I must admit. But 40-degree days were really tough, especially when it was humid as well.
That's not hiking weather.
It wasn't ideal. So.
I was just out on our local mountain range from here, the Stirling Ranges, a couple of days ago as we're recording this, and it was like 38 degrees up in the mountains, and I can tell you right now, humans are not meant to walk in the mountains or anywhere when it's that hot. It's just...
Especially when it's so exposed as well.
Yeah, it's not how it's supposed to be.
No.
We almost crossed paths when you were in the French Alps.
Absolutely. After the Tour d'Ecran.
Yeah, it was crazy because I think I messaged you saying like, I'm going to do the GR54 with some mates. Yeah. And I thought you might be in that sort of region at the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't cross paths on trail.
We were so close. One day.
But yeah, we were one day apart in Grenoble, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were coming in, we were leaving, or was it the opposite?
Yeah, I was leaving.
Yeah.
I was continuing on, and I just left. I just had a little bit of a break. I think that's when I hit that wall, you know.
Right.
You know, as you do in something this big.
Of course.
And yeah, when you messaged, I'd already booked my bus tickets to Chemroos to like meet back up on the trail. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's funny, it's a small world in the thru-hiking sort of community. You kind of cross paths with people, and yeah, I just love following like everyone who does vlogs on their trails, because it's like sometimes you just happen to cross paths, or
100%,
you know,
they see something that you're like, wow, I want to see that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a dangerous game actually, following too many people, because you see too many cool places where it's like, great, now my bucket list is 10 times longer.
Growing.
Yeah,
my bucket list is really growing at the moment too.
There's just so much to see. It's ridiculous. And I feel like thru-hiking in general is just gaining popularity as well. There's more and more people doing it. There's more trails popping up, and you know, some of the sort of lesser known trails, I guess, are getting more attention, which means we all hear about them and want to do them as well.
Yeah.
Like now, you know, after watching you and watching Beck on the Hexatrek, and I chatted to another Aussie couple, Lauren and Scott, on the podcast as well, who did the Hexatrek a couple of years ago. It's like, damn it, guess I gotta go do the Hexatrek. It sounds awesome.
I think you should. I think you have to.
Yeah.
Even if you do it in sections, like.
I don't think I could though. I think I'd have to do it
all in one go.
I can't section hike. Although technically I've walked sections because I've done the GR54 and TMB now, which is
so you've got a taste of it now.
And the taste was very good.
Yeah, just wait until you get the Pyrenees. Wow.
Yeah. This episode of the Life Outside podcast is proudly brought to you by OptiVenture, the world's first all-in-one supplement specifically designed for outdoor adventurers. It's been my favorite health, performance, and recovery tool for the last couple of years, both in training and while on trail. It's super simple. Just take 3 sunrise capsules each morning for sustained energy and to help optimize gut health, immunity, and mental clarity, and then take 3 sunset capsules at night to help sleep more deeply, recover more efficiently, and keep inflammation low. I've used it on long trails like the Pacific Crest, as well as on my Bibbulmun track, fastest known time completion. And I also just use it in my daily life as it replaces more than 10 individual supplements. It's simple, comprehensive, and built for my adventurous lifestyle. If you want the easiest, most effective way to stay healthy, perform well, and recover faster both on and off the trail, I can't recommend it enough. Head to optiventure.co and use Life Outside for 10% off your order. All right, let's get back into today's episode. So you left the Alps into southern France.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest section for you?
That was the hardest section. We started off on the Gorge d'Ardèche, which is, very popular like holidaying destination.
okay.
So there was a lot of people around, and we did the gorge walk, which it was a crazy trail to be walking with a big backpack. There were like sections where you're like caving, like crawling through this like
Wow.
cave, and they've got rails and such. It's like all built, but it was very tight squeezes in some parts. You know, there's these big cliff walls, and they've got this like bar on the side of the wall, and this like tiny little ledge that they've carved into the limestone where you're like putting your feet like footholds. Then there's just this river with rapids down the side.
So you could just fall?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's,
Okay.
yeah. But it was stunning through there, and everyone's kayaking, whitewater kayaking through as well. So there's always that opportunity as well, is that some of these rivers, instead of hiking, you could, you know, put your bag in a barrel and kayak down them.
Did you do that?
I did. On the next river called the Gorge de Tarn, there was a section there that was about 26 kilometers of kayaking,
Wow.
which I was just so excited to do because my other job in Canada, I was a canoe tripping leader. So I love spending
Wow.
time on the water
Yeah.
and, you know, being in a boat. And I was missing summer in Canada to thru-hike instead of doing that this summer.
Okay.
And so it was really nice, to be able to go and do that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Was it pretty hectic rapids and stuff, or?
No.
That's pretty chill.
Not at all.
Okay.
Maybe more so the gorge Ardèche had a bit more intense rapids in them. I'd say, grade 1 to grade 2 rapids. I didn't kayak down there, but just watching others go through. But mostly they would, you know, just little swifts and you know, low grade ones. You know, you could just point your kayak and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
It was absolute carnage though, with like all the tourists and like hanging into each other. Everyone's going down the rapids backwards. It was fun though. Fun to witness.
That's cool. Like a bit of a rest for the legs as well. And
I think so.
a bit of a different sort of experience on trail.
I like that, the adventures that, I don't know how you would say it, but you know, you're walking, maybe biking, maybe kayaking or pack rafting.
Tiaroa is another good one for that.
Yeah.
There's a river section where you're on the river for 5 or 6 days. There's a couple of biking sections where you can choose to hire a bike, or you know, some people just these days ride the whole North Island.
Yeah.
I'm following one girl on Tiaroa now. She's riding the North Island, hiking the south. It's cool. It's like multimodal adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool
That's really cool. So, like, besides the gorges in southern France, was there like desert trails, or are you always sort of in these gorges? Not
always in the gorges. I think they were just the more significant parts of those stages. You go through what's called the savane, which are the hot mountains. You know, you got low shrubs. Is kind of the scenery.
Yeah.
It's not so much desert per se, but it is like hot and exposed. You don't have those big tree coverage that you might have, you know, in the forested trails. So the savane, and then it was a lot of farmland as well.
Yeah. Through
that section.
How often are you getting off trail to resupply, to go into towns, to have a 0 day, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So we would pass through towns, so there was never really a point where we had to hitchhike off the trail.
That's awesome. So the Hexatrek kind of routes you through the towns.
Yes.
That's wicked.
And that was a huge reason, you know, why I also chose the Hexatrek, is because I could resupply every, 3 to 5 days. It was being able to carry less food, carry better food as well, was a really exciting prospect to me.
What was your diet like on the trail?
Cheese.
A lot of cheese?
Cheese, yeah. Cheese. I ate a lot of pasta, like typical hiking foods, tuna, but then also saucisson, which is like the, cured sausage that you would have. A lot of baguette. I love bread. A lot of pastries. Boulangeries.
All I ate when I was in France hiking was I just take baguettes, those cured sausages, and cheese out with me. That's all I do. Maybe the odd avocado.
I'd have like a little charcuterie board every lunchtime.
So
it's
good.
Luxurious.
And even even the cheaper stuff is so good.
Yeah.
Like you try and buy cheap cheese and bread here and it's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
But everything over there is top
I still
notch.
dream about French baguettes.
Yeah, you probably miss it, hey?
Oh, I do. It was really cool too. Like,
how's the baguettes at the local Mount Barker bakery?
They're good. But I don't think anything could really compare,
No,
But, and, you know, the cheese as well was so cool. You'd see the cows in the paddock and then you'd go to this local fromagerie, which is the places that sell the cheese. And, you know, you're eating cheese from those cows over there,
Yeah, that's cool.
which I thought was, yeah, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember when I was in the French Alps, there was just like cows grazing up on the mountains as well and stuff like that. Like they're
Cows everywhere.
proper like, out there.
You have to be careful where you put your tent, because sometimes if you put it in a paddock, you might not know it was a paddock, because this is what happened to me the first time.
Well, the paddocks are like on the mountain sometimes. Like, how do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. The cows might not be there and you're like, oh, I'm safe. And then you wake up to cowbells in the morning, open your tent, there's like cows.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay. You're just in a herd of cows in your tent.
Yeah.
They're always really curious and like licking the condensation of your tent.
Yes.
So
We had a similar experience on the Tour de Mont Blanc where we were just camped up on this saddle
okay.
and it did not seem like a place where there would be cows.
No.
It was 2,500 meters up or something.
Yeah.
And it was like midnight. We heard the bells
Yeah.
and the sniffing
Yeah.
next to my head. And like I was with my mates Dan and Emma was like, what's going on? And I got out and there's like 6 or 7 cows just surrounding our tents, and they're huge. Like if they wanted to stomp on you, they'd kill you.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's a very unique sort of problem to have, I
Poor
guess.
Charles actually had his tent ripped by a cow.
What?
Yeah, it just got really excited about the condensation
Really?
and just kind of like stood on it and like ripped through the
Crap.
tent. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of wildlife to worry about over there, is there? But there's the cows.
Just the cows. And I walked through that many cow paddocks and had some very interesting experiences. I was charged twice.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't fun. So I got quite nervous about the cows in the end.
Did you have to dodge out of the way, or did it kind of stop out before it got to you?
I had to jump a fence for one.
What?
Yeah, an electric fence. So I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
buzzed. And then, the second time, I managed to run far enough away from them that they
Did you
kind of
film
stopped.
that?
No.
Because that would be glorious.
Oh, it
Just
would be glorious.
Tilly running along a field in the mountains away from a charging cow.
No, I didn't film it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I was kind of scared for my life.
Yeah.
So,
That's the problem.
but I should have bought the camera because, the cameraman never dies.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the problem with like vlogging all the super hectic parts.
Yeah.
You don't film because you don't want to die.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you didn't film it, so you can't show it. It's like, oh.
I had this really cool, awesome experience, that was kind of scary. But yeah, I don't have a record of it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. We believe that it happened, though. We believe you.
Yeah.
Did you encounter much wildlife at all?
Not like scary wildlife.
No.
We had cows. Then there was, oh my gosh, marmots. Did you see marmots?
We saw a lot of marmots,
I
yeah.
love marmots. They're so cute. I wanted to take one with me. I don't think that would have been, looked upon very
No,
good.
smuggling a marmot back to Mount Barker.
Unfortunately not. Ibex as well,
Yep.
which they call chamois. I think that's the
Chamois,
French name for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were cool. They were really cool. I saw some mountain goats as well. And then in the Pyrenees, we started to see like horses and the traditional like horses of the area. They're quite like
wild
stocky.
horses?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're just everywhere in their like herds.
That's
Herds
cool.
of horses everywhere. And they just like, they neigh and they run. They're the most joyful horses I've ever seen in my life. And I love horses too. So it was just, it was really cool.
Yeah, so there's still plenty to see.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the chamois, in the Alps as well, and like they'd be like up on the tops of the mountains and climbing like crazy.
They're very picturesque when they do that. They're just
Gliding
Climbing on
across
the
the rocks when you're struggling and
yeah.
climbing and falling.
I looked at a video last night actually, and it was like this section in the Vercors, which is just in stage 3, so in end of the Alps, and there's just this ibex like going up a trail that's like this. We're scrambling up it, virtually climbing up, and this ibex is just chilling.
Yeah, it's second nature to it.
It's remarkable.
Yeah. Did you encounter many of the sheep dogs or the herding dogs up in the mountains and stuff like that?
Yeah, it did.
Because we were warned a bit about those, and we had a
Yeah.
few encounters. Nothing went wrong, but
Yeah, that's good. I did have a few encounters, all quite positive encounters. You know, they're usually behind a fence with the sheep or, very chill, used to humans. But definitely a lot of the people I talked to and spent time with on the Hexatrek had some scary experiences
Really?
with the patu. There's information signs everywhere about how to approach them and, well, not approach them, but how to interact with them, essentially. It is better if you're in a group of people with them, but yeah, mostly positive experiences. Just was really aware if there was sheep around and, be prepared to take a big detour if you encountered them. So
because they're trained obviously to protect the herd from wolves mainly, right?
Yeah, wolves, yeah. And they have really bad eyesight. So that's the other thing
You
as
just got
well.
to make sure they know you're not a wolf.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to be fairly close to be like, oh, hang on, you're not actually a threat. And some of them aren't used to humans, especially in the Pyrenees. They see their owners, or the shepherds, and that's what they're used to, but not as many hikers out there. But yeah, I was really nervous about the patu. So I had some bad encounters with other dogs, like people's dogs, domesticated dogs.
Yeah.
In France. So I was feeling a bit nervous about dogs in general. But very lucky, yeah. All good experiences.
That's good, yeah, because things can go wrong pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remarkable creatures, honestly, like how they interact with the herd.
Yeah, on the GR54, we saw this massive herd on this side trip we did up this mountain.
Yeah.
Who knows how this sheep herder got up there.
Yeah.
And the shepherd was just like super stoic at the top of this peak, just looking down on them. It
Wow.
was so cool. But there was like maybe 4 dogs, beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
And they all ran up to us barking. And
Okay.
we sort of just followed protocol, and
Yeah.
they realized we weren't a threat, and we kind of scooted around. But it was pretty intense.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah, we chatted to the shepherd at the top, and he was just like living out there for like weeks and weeks at a time, tending to the herds.
Amazing. The shepherds, yeah.
Different style of farming than we have here.
100%.
Where it's just a flat paddock and they kind of just
cropping and
yeah. Which is that's part of the beauty of experiencing these different places, isn't it? Yeah. It's just so different to back home, which it's a shame when people just never leave home and they don't experience those different things. I think you lack a lot of perspective.
There's a lot of really cool places out there.
Yeah, and people just live differently in different places.
Yeah,
doesn't always have to be the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. So coming into section 5 and 6, Pyrenees. Obviously, looking forward to getting into the mountains there. What's the difference between like the types of mountains or the terrain between the Pyrenees and the Alps?
Pyrenees, the terrain there is a lot harder. It's a lot more technical.
Okay.
You've got big boulders everywhere. It's less of the shale that you'd find in the Alps. The shale means that you can forge nice, paths in the mountains in the Alps, fairly flat. Whereas the Pyrenees, you start getting, more of your hard rock. Can't move that very easily. So you just
go over them.
Yeah. Big boulders, like scrambling. I remember there was this one day we'd planned to do a 20-kilometer day, which sounds quite reasonable, right? We didn't account for that there would be like 1.5 kilometers of like boulders bigger than me that would have to like scramble through at the top of this mountain. And we were doing like 1 kilometer was taking about an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just took forever. So, the trail, you never knew what exactly you were going to encounter that day. You couldn't really plan too much because suddenly you're not able to do your 20, 30 kilometer days. You might only be getting 15 kilometers because it's really technical, hard trail that's just taking forever.
Yeah.
And it's much more remote out in the Pyrenees. The Alps are serviced, especially for the ski resorts in the winter.
There's infrastructure everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less of that in the Pyrenees for sure. There's still refuges scattered around. But yeah, you could be out there for a few days and if you went on the right paths and not see anyone. So yeah, that's the main differences.
It always kind of sucks when you're used to walking like 4 or 5 Ks an hour on like easier terrain, and then you kind of expect to be able to
Yeah.
keep that, and then you reach like really technical or really steep
Yeah.
trail, and it's like you're reduced to 1 kilometer an hour.
Yeah.
It's almost like demotivating. At least that I
Yeah.
find that,
Yeah.
when I'm heading out into like a real technical track that isn't pristine and isn't graded and doesn't
Yeah.
have switchbacks. I'm like, oh, I'm so used to like a trail like the PCT or
Yeah.
the Bibbleman track here, where it's like 5K an hour is just what you do. It's very
Exactly.
easy, and then all of a sudden your 5Ks can take 5 hours, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
It's challenging. And I think that was one of the biggest challenges, was letting go of that expectation
Yeah.
of myself, like that I would be walking this amount per day.
I find that
So,
really hard as well.
yeah, it
I'm like,
can be.
I walk a marathon every day when I
Yeah,
through
yeah.
hike, but if the trail's 1K an hour, then there's not enough hours in the day, is there? So it's
To be
like,
able to do that.
got to be happy with just putting in the hours, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, definitely.
Is there like designated campsites, or is it just like wild camping wherever you can, or what's it like in the Pyrenees?
Yeah, so kind of how the app's designed is really good.
Mm.
You kind of, it's, you have your line on the map and it's either green or red. And green means that you can bivouac. So France
Perfect.
is one of those really, very lucky in France where you can pretty much camp in many places as long as, I think it's like 1 kilometer from a road. There's lots of, little rules around it, but there's a fair chunk of wilderness where you have the freedom to camp, where you want. So if it was green, it was like bivouac permitted. And if it was red, it was like bivouac is not permitted. In addition to that, there was also little icons on the app where it was like, oh, this makes a really good bivouac zone. It's really spectacular. And there was also, a lot of the huts were marked along the route as well to be like, oh, there's shelter here. So you would kind of have, an idea of what was coming up.
Yeah.
To be able to plan for that, and water as well, to know where your water sources were.
So what was your process like, whether it's the night before or the morning of planning out how far you'd walk, where you'd camp, especially not knowing exactly how fast you'd be able to move or what the terrain would be like?
Yeah.
Yeah, were you mostly just winging it, or do you have like a bit of a plan between resupplies?
Mostly winging it, if I'm
Yeah.
honest. Like, I'm not one to really plan too much.
Yeah.
And I find that incredibly freeing when you're through hiking as well. Just to be able to look at a map and go, oh, I've got a few locations in mind that could work. You look at the contour lines and go, well, that place doesn't look too steep. I guess like I should be able to find somewhere flat enough to camp there if I need to. So mostly my process was for camping, just knowing where water was and aiming, having a few options in mind. And then in terms of resupply and food, I'd look ahead to the next town, which was also denoted in the app. It was very well done. It might be 70 kilometers. So I know, that's going to take me anywhere between 3 to 5 days. So just having enough food for 5 days, I'm always conservative.
Yeah. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good rule of thumb.
Absolutely.
Have
I
a
would
bit
hate
more
to
than
be
you
hungry.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's it. I didn't plan too much, if I'm honest with you.
I think that's pretty common. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of how you have to be, because
Exactly.
it's often just impossible to plan down to the kilometer or to the day or to the hour. You never know what's going to happen out in
Absolutely.
the wild when you're hiking.
Yeah.
Things can change, and
Yeah.
maybe there's like a little peak on the side that you want to do, and all that
See
kind of
something
stuff.
cool
You've got to
or-
be flexible.
Yeah.
That's one of the keys to successfully finishing a long trail, I think, is flexibility. Yeah.
100% flexibility, yeah. And letting
Yeah.
go of your expectations as well. You're not always going to make a goal that you had
Mm-hmm.
initially thought you were going to get to. So
Yeah, it's so true. Were there any moments along the Hexatrek where you thought about quitting or leaving, or where things were really hard and you're like, I don't know if I can do this? Or were you pretty like headstrong, I'm doing this no matter what?
I was pretty headstrong. There was never a point where I wanted to leave trail permanently.
Mm-hmm.
I did, when you talk about trail fitness is never a straight line, in my experience anyway. You kind of go through your peak and then you start to dip a little bit as the hunger sets in and your body is adjusting to the fact that you're not putting as much as it needs in sometimes. It's really hard.
Time,
Nutrition is hard. So there was a point where I did have to take a few days out, and that was, when we almost crossed paths in Grenoble. But I knew that was going to come, there was going to be a time where I needed to have like a longer rest than just one day or half a day. And then the other part was in stage 4 when it got really hot. I think in that first week, I was like, I don't actually know if I want to continue through this heat. Maybe I skip ahead. And there was a heat wave just going through the whole South France. I thought about going to Italy for a week at that point as well. just so that, I could get away from the heat for a little bit and just start again,
Yeah.
Because, I wasn't really enjoying that too much. And I was like, might as well wait it out. And it got to the point in stage 4 where I actually didn't do all of stage 4. It was so just flat, and there wasn't any more sights to see kind of in that section that, were very appealing. It was lots of like road walking. So I ended up skipping that little part. And then there was some bushfires as well at the start of stage 5 that we had to kind of like cross over. But there was never really a point where I was like, I think I want to stop.
Yeah. And once you get to the Pyrenees, it's like you're basically on the home stretch now as well, right?
Absolutely.
It's like there's no way I'm leaving.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And, just if I started to feel that way, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm pushing myself too hard. So, just giving myself a lot of grace.
You just got to listen to your body
100%.
and in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it might look different to other people as well, but.
Yeah. It's so true about how trail fitness is not a linear thing.
Yeah.
You're
Ebbs
always,
and flows.
a month or two in, you're going to reach this incredible peak fitness that you never thought was possible.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing ever. And then, once the hiker hunger sets in and your body starts to really lack.
Yeah.
Because it's been lacking for so long.
Yeah.
The end of trails are often where you're, back down to that sort of low level of fitness because you're just deprived of so many things. And that can be really hard. I remember experiencing that on the PCT. I was so fit and felt so strong through Oregon and Northern California. I was doing crazy miles and just feeling good. And then Washington and the last month on trail, I felt so run down and so weak and unfit. Like it was kind of the exact opposite, and it sucked. I was like, I thought I was supposed to be fit. And even coming home post-trail, I was like, I'm the fittest I'm ever going to be. I signed up to an ultra marathon and I DNF'd it, and I just realized, no, my body's actually kind of broken.
It's tired.
It needs to rejuvenate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a crappy feeling after being so fit and then kind of feeling like it's gone. Yeah.
So tricky to navigate on through hikes, and
it is. I
don't know if it's really talked about that much actually.
It isn't. Yeah. It actually isn't. No.
Yeah. But definitely felt that. I kind of had 2 cycles. I was kind of on my low when I reached the end of stage 3 and that stage 4, and then I like perked back up again when I got into stage 5 again. I was just like really focused on nutrition, eating a lot of like really good foods.
5 baguettes a day.
Sorry?
5 baguettes a day.
Oh my gosh. No, I had a lot of canned food actually. I like sacrificed the weight to carry canned food. Like beef bouillon in a can.
Wow.
Cassoulet in a can. Peak French, luxury right there.
Yeah.
But I think that really helped. But I was in the environment, where we could resupply this very often.
Yeah.
That I could do that. Whereas, other trails, it's a bit harder to navigate that.
So what was that last month or so like as you sort of inched your way closer to the coast? Could you see the coast from pretty far out, or wasn't?
Not really.
Okay.
I think maybe 4 days out we could see the coast.
Okay.
And I sat on a rock and I just like looked at it and I just cried. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's here.
The ocean.
It exists.
But actually we tacked on a little bit because of the bushfires. So decided to add on a little bit of a different trail in the Mediterranean Sea, which is where the GR10, the HRP and the GR11 all start to cross the Pyrenees.
Okay.
So followed the GR10. So I kind of actually already saw the ocean well, the sea in some ways, and I swam in it. I was like, do I swim or do I wait for the very end? I was like, no, of course I swim. I miss the beach so much. I love salt water. And
that happened to me on the Camino because we walked all the way to Finisterre to the ocean, and everyone was like, we got to wait till we get to the end of the world before we swim. And the first beach I saw, which was like earlier that day, I'm getting in the ocean. I'm sorry.
It's the West Australian in us, you know.
We love the beach.
You're just, drawn to the ocean.
When you're walking, for months without seeing the ocean, it's
my gosh.
That's the first chance you get.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Those last couple of days, I guess, were mixed emotions.
For sure. Like, such a mix of emotions. I was so excited. I was ready. You are ready.
Ready to finish.
You're ready I didn't think about the end much, which I think I mentioned before. And so, when you start thinking about the end, you're like, oh, there's that little bit of impatience, but then a little bit of like, oh, I actually don't know if I want this to end, because trail life and real life, such different things.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of a bit intimidating to go back to real life and planning. I had a bunch of flights to book. I was like, oh, I hadn't booked my flight home yet. I was like,
it's overwhelming, isn't
it? It is,
Because trail life is just so simple.
I really
real life is complicated.
I can just buy a packet of pasta and cook it on my little stove. I don't know if, a hostel's going to quite let me use my little backpacking stove to cook all my food. So,
Yeah.
It was like navigating back to that as well was, daunting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, immense pride as well that I had done that. Like, some pretty intense mountains. I was very proud of myself for being able to get through that.
I mean, just walking for 137 days is something to be proud of. Across the country and across the trail that hard. Yeah.
So, the last days were, and I shared it with some lovely people as well. Lionel, who we met back up with in stage 6. Mm-hmm. After that first night and first few days we had walked together. And so we'd separated for the rest of the trail and then managed to meet back up for that little bit as well.
That's crazy.
So cool. And another guy called Thomas as well. So we all kind of, the last few days we were like camping in the same spots together. So being able to share that was, reflect together.
Yeah.
Was cool. Really cool.
Your final day vlog was obviously like all the emotions came through that video.
Yeah.
I got chills watching it.
Really?
I watched it again just this week.
Okay.
In the lead up to this, but obviously I watched it when it came out as well. It was so powerful. You really like sort of shared, I guess, what you were feeling and going through in those moments.
I'm really glad that it had that impact because I wanted, to convey just what that day was feeling for me because it was so, I can't even tell you, like, so many emotions as well, and the disbelief. And, once I finished, I thought the magnitude of like everything that I had done would kind of settle in and I would understand and have a perspective of the journey that it was. But it wasn't until like the other week that it all finally sank in and I was like, the whole journey.
Takes a little while to process everything.
Yeah. It really did. And that final day, incredible. When I saw the beach. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. And there was waves. I was just so excited about the waves because I just wanted to body surf. I was like, will I be able to do that when I get to Hyundai? And we spent like an hour like just body surfing the waves. Yeah. Really joyful end as well.
I wrote down a quote from your last video.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it really hit me.
Okay.
I'm going to read it out. If you haven't watched Tilly's vlogs, by the way, this is the beauty of Instagram. You can go back and start from day one, go all the way through and experience that whole sort of range of emotions. It was better live, but you can go back. In the last video, when you made it to the ocean, I stood on the stand where it met the Atlantic Ocean, and all I felt was this immense sense of gratitude that my physical body and my circumstances had allowed me to complete this journey. And as the wave washed over my shoes, my journey was complete.
Yeah.
That was what gave me chills. Because you had the video of the waves hitting your shoes for the first time, and then this video of you running out into the ocean and swimming in all your hiking clothes.
Yeah.
And it was just so powerful and special.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, sort of we were there with you. You're a really great storyteller.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
really cool.
that's such a
And obviously you
lovely
had so much
compliment.
love poured out in the comments of that video as
I
well,
did.
of people that had
Oh,
followed through the whole
wow.
journey and experienced that sort of with you from afar.
Yeah, I
And
can't even describe the community that Instagram gave me,
hmm
and throughout the journey just added this whole other side to the hike for me. It, people's words of encouragement
yeah,
and the people that would message me and they would have their own stories to tell me, perhaps, how it had inspired them, or, they were telling me, to keep going. And yeah, I was in a lot of disbelief, and that's why I
yeah.
felt, this crazy sense of gratitude towards the Instagram community as well.
It just adds another layer to it,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
so much
I always
support.
encourage people to, even if it's not to reach, tens of thousands of people, but
Yeah,
just to record your journey and
yeah,
post online if you can, as a way to look back on your adventure and jog those memories of the moments and the days. But also, if a community does come up from it, it is just another whole layer to the adventure.
yes,
For me, all of my through hikes would not be the same if I didn't have this online community
yeah,
along for the ride. And there's a lot of negatives to social media, of course, safety concerns and
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, it's really powerful to have that sort of
yeah, think,
backing, from the online world and
yeah,
sending encouragement and being, you're able to inspire people. And it's just,
yeah.
it's really cool.
I think my favorite part of all of that was people would send me the stories about what they were doing,
Yeah.
how they were going out on their own adventures and, sending me like a little story about their weekend and what they
Wow.
did. And for me, that was the most inspiring part and encouraged me to keep posting
hmm
and,
Yeah.
contributing.
They're super cool. I also love that it gives a bit of accountability to me. Like, if I'm posting my adventure extremely publicly,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it makes giving up a lot harder to do.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to have to post a vlog saying, "Oh, I'm leaving trail" or something
yeah,
like that. I'm like, it's a nice little form of accountability for me, which is nice as well.
yeah.
Um, but that's super cool. Congrats on the Hexatrek.
Thank you.
Incredible journey. And you've been
Thank
home
you.
for a couple months now.
2 months, yeah. I've been working.
Back to work. So before the Hexatrek, you were in Canada for 2 years. So it's
Yeah,
actually been quite a long time since you've been back home in Western Australia.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was so emotional coming back
Yeah.
because not only was I coming back from this like major life-changing journey,
Yeah.
but this whole major life-changing, 2 years that
Yeah.
I had been overseas. So, yeah.
Yeah. What was it like coming back to Mount Barker? Which is like for those who don't know, which is probably a lot of listeners, it's a tiny little town in southwest Western Australia,
Yeah.
About an hour from the coast, about 3 hours, 4 hours from the capital city of our state. So it's like a farming town, I guess, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
very much a farming town. Close to the Sterling Ranges and the Prongerups, which is where my love of hiking was born. But coming back home, yeah, was weird.
Yeah.
It's just, because home feels so normal. But then I'm this different person. So much within me has changed
Totally, yeah.
to come back to something so familiar. Yeah, it was really interesting. And, it puts into perspective like how you've grown as a person, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the last time you might have been home.
And did your friends and family see that growth in you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They
a
do
different
comment
Tilly.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a very positive way.
Yeah.
And I think Instagram, being able to post as well gave me a lot of confidence as well, and my ability to articulate, I think for sure, like improved after my videos as well.
Yeah.
How to speak and speak well.
Yeah, there's little hidden benefits you get from that kind of thing.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was amazing to see, all my friends and my family again.
Yeah.
I'd really missed them a lot.
Mhm.
My parents were a huge support to me in my journey. I call them, quite often on the Hexatrek, and I'm so, grateful for them. And they're the ones that gave me my sense of adventure as well. And,
Yeah, awesome.
the to want to dive in and just, get out there. So, yeah, very
Yeah.
grateful. So it was lovely to see them in person again and give my mum a hug and my dad
Yeah,
a hug.
oh, geez, that would have been awesome.
It was a great reunion.
Are you going to stick around Mount Barker for a while, or have you got another big adventure on the plans?
I'm just down here for a little bit, seasonal work. Adventures are in the plans. I do need to work a little bit first.
Sure. Adventures cost money.
That's so true. Which, you know, I would love anything but to get back out there straight away again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably the next 6 months I'll be working in WA.
Are you thinking another through hike would be awesome, or is it other travels or different adventure modes that you're interested in?
I'm interested in all adventure modes
Okay.
for sure. But would love to do another through hike. There's a lot on my radar for sure. I haven't settled on anything, you know, in particular just
What's on the radar?
yet. Other hikes in Europe for sure. You know, I had such a great time. I'd love to go see some other countries in the same way. The Via Alpina, which you might have heard.
The red route.
Yeah, looks really cool. Is our train?
Yeah, we'll just pause for a second because there's a bloody train coming through. It's probably about 1,000 kilometers long as well, isn't it?
What's this? The train?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think there's usually like 30.
What's in that?
Grain.
Grain.
Yeah, CBH train.
All right, we're back. The Via Alpina.
Via Alpina.
Yeah, I've been looking into that recently, actually.
Ooh, okay. I'd love to do the HRP as well, like the proper high route all through. We were just so tired by the time we got there
Yeah.
that I didn't end up choosing the high route. Terrora, you know.
Bit closer to home.
And the Pacific Crest Trail. You know,
Yeah.
there's
The iconic ones.
a lot on my radar. I'd love to also get into bike packing.
I mean, that's big in Europe as well, isn't it? You would have probably seen plenty of people.
Yeah, we
ride.
cross paths a lot with a lot of bike packers in the camping. Yeah.
Plenty on the cards.
There's too
Problem
much.
is through hiking is like one trail takes like 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
And so you can't really do more than one every year or two.
It's true.
And obviously you have to take a long time off work. It's like,
Yeah.
it's tough, but yeah, we should be grateful that there's so many adventures we can go out on, I guess.
Lots
and
to
we
look
have
forward to.
we have the choice of which ones to do.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for whatever's next for you.
Oh, thank
Are
you.
you going to keep recording and sharing the adventures?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Definitely. I'm looking at doing, you know, with work coming to a close and, you know, a new job coming up, hopefully to finish, you know, do sections of the bib again.
Have you walked the Bibbleman track?
Not in one go, no.
Okay.
I've walked most sections, but I haven't done it in one go. But I'd love to do, you know, all the sections again.
Yeah.
And, you know, just smaller adventures. I want to show people that, you know, and keep it in my life too, that you don't have to be doing big things constantly either.
Yeah, you can find adventure in your backyard
100%.
for a couple of hours on a Saturday or whatever. It doesn't have to
It's
be
true.
a 5-month long through hike, does it?
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Incredible.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you? I think we mentioned your Instagram.
Instagram. So thru-hiked.
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 I'll leave your links in the description below for anyone interested. Go back to day one on the Hexatrek and go through the whole adventure because it's really incredible to experience that
Amazing
through your eyes, I
adventure.
guess, and see the smile every single day. Very, very cool.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on. It's been cool to film in your hometown here.
Yeah.
I've just been on a little sort of mini road trip from Perth the last couple of days, so it's
Yeah.
cool that we could cross paths and we're in the
Indeed.
same place at the same time. And we've battled the elements this morning, but we got it done.
Indeed.
We got it done.
It's all part of it, isn't it?
It's all part of it. Yeah. I mean, we're outdoor adventurers. We can handle a bit of wind and
That's
a few
true.
magpies and a train or two. It's just not great for audio sometimes, but should be
We'll
right.
see how it goes.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this episode of the Life Outside podcast, make sure to follow wherever you are listening and leave us a 5-star rating. Much appreciate all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.